Shalum, shalom, and welcome. This is Final Exodus Readiness. It is a message to Yasharal, also known as Israel, a living, awakening nation. It is to the set-apart family of Abba Yahuah, Father Yahuah, which consists of both Hebrews and Gentiles. Hebrews, or one could say, Abri, and Goyim. Goyim meaning others, other nations. Hebrews and Gentiles from other nations that are made one by Yahusha Mashiach. That is the key word, made one by Yahusha Mashiach. These words are to you, whom I consider my brothers and sisters. This is the 12th installment of Final Exodus Readiness, and it focuses on bringing to mind destination and movement. Let's begin. My brothers and sisters, there's much talk about fleeing Babylon. There's much talk about getting away from evil and wickedness. There's much talk and belief about a final gathering, a final exodus. But all too often, when it comes to the details, when it comes to the things that are necessary to move beyond just talk, we seem to struggle. But make no mistake, O Yasharal, the Most High Father has promised discipline to his children. And I am referencing Hebrews 12th chapter as well as Revelation 3:19. My brothers and sisters, destinations and movement. To have a final exodus, that means there must be movement. To have movement, it must be a destination. And I submit to you, O Yasharal, moving from one city to the next, whether one town or one village to the next, the gathering of a set-apart children drawn by Abba Yahuah will begin to take place in larger numbers than the little bit here, the little bit there, one or two here. I believe there will be indeed a massive gathering from the four corners of the earth before the physical return of Yahushua Mashiach. With that, I am also compelled to believe that we are that end time generation. Let me ask you something, O Yasharal. Since the scriptures compare our final days as like the days of Noah, do you think Noah received details on what was needed to be accomplished in order to face salvation or to be saved from the flood? Do you think he received details? If not, take a look. Come take a look at Genesis 6th chapter, verses 12 through 16. Are these a tip of the iceberg of regarding some details Noah received? Let me read them. And the Almighty One looked upon the earth and saw that it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And the Almighty One said to Noah, the end of all flesh have come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And see, I am going to destroy them from the earth. Will we see such destruction come during the Great Tribulation? Let me continue, verse 14 through 16. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood, make rooms in the ark, cover it inside and out with tar. And this is how you are to make it. The length of the ark is 300 cubits, and width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Make a window for the ark, and complete it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. I won't get into all that is said, but just this alone, can we believe that the Most High indeed gave Noah some details on what to do before destruction came? So I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, let me continue to add something more for you to ponder on as I talk about as in the days of Noah. Matthew 24:37 say, and as the days of Noah, so also shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. That was Matthew 24:37. Luke 17:26 and 27 says, and as it came to be in the days of Noah, so also shall it be in the days of the Son of Adam. They were eating, they were drinking, they were marrying, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah went into the ark and the flood came and destroyed them all. I submit to you, O Yasharal, like in the days of Noah, people will disregard the details. People will disregard what is necessary to face being saved from destruction. But there will be those, just like in the days of Noah, there will be those who will find favor, saved from the destruction that is to come, to fulfill what has been written in Scripture regarding end times, regarding being gathered from the four corners of the earth. Let me also read John chapter 20, verse 30 and 31. They read as follows. There were indeed many other signs that Yahusha did in the presence of his taught ones, which are not written in this book. But these have been written so that you believe that Yahusha is the Messiah, the Son of the Almighty One, and that believing you might possess life in his name. I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, there is much work to be done. There are many details that must be adhered to regarding our plan, our preparation, our implementation in the execution of Yahuwah's plan as it relates to what is written, as it relates to the final Exodus, as it relates to these final days. I say to you, my brothers and sisters, it would be wise to discern that not every detail is written. There are many details that will not be documented as we find ourselves being used to implement the task given to each of us individually and collectively by the Spirit of Yahuah sent in Yahusha's name. Yes, we will grow to discern what is indeed true. Yasharal have stated on many occasions that the final Exodus, the gathering of an awakening nation under the banner of Yasharal, will not occur in an instant. I have also stated on more than one occasion how the 12 tribes mentioned in Revelation 7 chapter will emerge, the 144,000, although each tribe will be represented as written with each name of each tribe that is labeled in the 7th chapter Revelation. Once we come together in unity, we will then unite under one banner, a banner of Yasharal. Furthermore, my brothers and sisters, it is my position that we will witness being gathered to the set-apart mountain of Yahuwah. I am compelled to believe that mountain where Mushah or Moses received the Ten Commandments is the true Mount Sinai, and it is currently called Jabal al-Lawz, located in the northwest quadrant of what is known as Saudi Arabia. If we believe that there will be a final Exodus, know this: there must be a destination, there must be a place, there must be movement. Movement that will require transitioning from one place to the next until we get there, since it will not happen at the blink of an eye. I'm compelled to believe in the details regarding fulfilling the final Exodus that there will be various destinations and movement along the way for those who are drawn out by the Almighty Father. Going from one place to the next, from one destination to the next, requires movement. There will be proven times when we must indeed act, and there will be proven times when we must be still. I'm compelled to believe the Most High Father has a schedule, and he will lead his children through his chosen leaders. He will speak to us one towards another. We will find ourselves being used of him as we seek to worship and obey his living word. When it comes to destinations and movement, time will prove that there will be a degree of structure, discipline, and the presence of set-apart leadership from those chosen and led by the Spirit of Yahusha. Allow me to inject the following regarding the word freedom and liberty. For all too often, people think we have the freedom or the liberty to do whatever we want to do. This is wicked and evil teaching. We do not have the freedom to do any and everything we want to do as we see fit. What you may think is a freedom to do with anything, I admit to you, do not be overtaken by such wicked teachings. True freedom and liberty, 100% freedom and liberty, it comes from the Almighty Father. It is he who has 100% freedom and liberty to do whatever he sees fit. And the only thing that is impossible for him, it is impossible for him to lie. I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, the freedoms we think we have been mistakenly taught to us. It is the Most High who has the freedom, and he has the freedom to use whomever he sees fit, whenever he sees fit. And we will find, as we begin to move about the specific destinations, as movement ramp up among those who will be gathered, we will see that it is the Spirit of Yahuah that will move freely in directing his children. Consider these words if you doubt what I'm saying. John 8:31 and 32 says, so Yahusha said to those Yehudim who believed him, if you stay in my word, you are truly my taught ones, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Keep in mind, he says, stay in my word. See, if we're walking in the fullness of the Spirit, if we're walking in obedience, that truth brings us free. But it is the freedom of his to guide us and to move us as he sees fit. Ultimately, my brothers and sisters, making us free is free from the strongholds. It's leaning into him and watching him use us as we yield one to another as and when he speaks to us one towards another. 2 Corinthians 3:17 says, now Yahuah is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of Yahuah is, there is freedom. Where the Spirit of Yahuah is, there is freedom. Where the Spirit of Yahuah is, there is freedom. So let us not mistake freedom to mean we can do whatever we want, however we want. Now, sure, there is a permissive will of the Almighty Father. And in that permissive will, he allows some things to occur. But if we search out the scriptures, we'll know that whatsoever a man sows, he shall also reap in many occasions. In other words, my brothers and sisters, the fruit of wickedness will provide something very painful and regretful. The fruit of set apartness will bring about the joy and will bring about the shouts of hallelujah. Galatians 5:1 says, in the freedom which Messiah has made us free, stand firm then and do not again be held with a yoke of slavery. See, Messiah has made us free. Free, for he dwells within us and works within us. He works as we will find that this is true as our inward man is in union with the Spirit of the Most High. Galatians 5:13 says, for you, brothers, have been called to freedom. Only do not use freedom as an occasion for the flesh, but through love serve one another. You see, my brothers and sisters, let us not be deceived. Some who are deceived will think that, okay, I got this freedom for the Most High to use me. That means I can do what I want. No, that would be an occasion for the flesh. My brothers and sisters, many have mistaken the life and the meaning of liberties and freedom. But if we truly prefer freedom, let us submit ourselves before the Most High and let him use us as he sees fit. For it is the Most High Spirit that will work in us, through us, one towards another, and through his chosen ones. Who is able to discern the life in the following passage? Romans 12:1 and 2 says, I call upon you, therefore, brothers, through the compassion of the Almighty One, to present your bodies a living offering. Now, some versions say sacrifice, set apart, well pleasing to the Almighty One, your reasonable worship. And do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you prove what is good and well pleasing and perfect desire of the Almighty One. You see, my brothers and sisters, there's a lot we will come to know as end times ramp up, as things become intense. We are instructed to walk filled with the Spirit. We are instructed to walk in obedience. Consider Ephesians 5:18 through 21. It says, do not be drunk with wine, in which is loose behavior, but be filled with the Spirit, speaking to each other in psalms and songs of praise and spiritual songs, singing and striking the strings in your heart to the Master, giving thanks always for all to the Almighty One, the Father, in the name of our Master Yahushua Messiah, subjecting yourselves to each other in the fear of the Almighty One. Walking filled with the Spirit, my brothers and sisters. Notice that it said that in 5:18. Notice how it says in 5:21, in the fear of the Almighty One. Remember, my brothers and sisters, this is a requirement. As we find ourselves approaching various destinations, as we find ourselves in the midst of movement, it would be wise to discern what the Spirit is saying to us. If we truly desire knowledge and wisdom for these end times, if we truly desire to know what must be done, let us keep the fear of Yahuah top of mind. You doubt these words? Let me share two verses that I've shared before on more than one occasion. Proverbs 1:7 says, the fear of Yahuah is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. So if we fear Yahuah, if we're walking in fear and reverence to Yahuah, looking upon our Father, looking to worship and obey Him, knowledge will come. Anyone who kick against such instructions will be demonstrating their displeasure and their rebelliousness towards wisdom and discipline. Proverbs 14:26 says, in the fear of Yahuah is strong trust, and his children should have a place of refuge. His children should have a place of refuge. Do you believe in these last days that it is necessary to have a place of refuge? Do you believe as we move from one destination to the next, as movement enlarges among us, that it would be wise to identify a place of refuge? I submit to you in the fear of Yahuah, trusting Him, we'll be able to identify where we should be. Who is able to discern the life in such words? It would be wise to embrace what is necessary as we prepare to discover the place of refuge. I submit to you, it would be multiple places as we find ourselves in motion. As movement begins, what might be a safe place today may not be tomorrow, but ultimately we will reach that set apart place, that final destination, O Yasharal. Now is a good time to discover how to tell your directions, how to learn how to navigate from east to west, or west to east, or north to south, or south to north, all depending on what part of the planet that one is currently positioned. I have stated on many occasions the need to identify directions in or brothers and sisters who know how to navigate their directions, who know how to follow the leading of the Spirit of Yahusha. As we anticipate our journey ahead, let us begin to discern those who are chosen to lead. Let us begin to discern those who have more details than what we see going forward now. Truly, during extreme, humbling times, answers will come. For in our physical weakness, those who seek to worship and obey, we will rise up strong in the power and might of the Spirit of Yahuah. We will begin to know what the ultimate destination is for His chosen one, and where it is, and when we should go there. I invite you, O Yasharal, to consider, who do we know along the perceived or expected path that we just might take as we begin to gather towards the set-apart mountain? Have we identified individuals that might be in a neighboring city, state? Have we identified individuals that might be in a neighboring country as we find ourselves journeying towards the promised land? Like I said, it will not happen in an instant. So there will be times of rest, time to refresh, time of movement. My brothers and sisters, the time is now to look at the realities of what's unfolding before us. Yasharal, there are no doubts in my mind that there are destinations ahead, that we will experience massive movement. Forced migrations are coming. I say it often. What, when, how, who? In other words, that few questions necessary for understanding our future will become widespread, and the need to discern answers from the Spirit of Yahusha will prove to be critical now and going forward, discerning them as He speaks through us one towards another and or through His chosen ones. Know this, O body of set apart, drawn out ones, the success of Abba Yahuwah's plan will prove to include obedient children, His obedient children. The scriptures inform us of discipline. I cannot stress it enough. The final Exodus will prove to be a process in which millions of brothers and sisters from many different nations, kindreds, and tongues will come together from the four corners of the earth. Remember, millions, my brothers and sisters. You can have millions, and when you compare it to over 7.4 billion that's on the planet, millions is only a fraction. Million is a remnant. The time is now to begin asking questions, discerning true answers, preparing for movement like never before in the history of man's existence. There is much work to be done, O Yasharal. I cannot stress enough. Begin to ask questions. Begin to seek wise counsel. Begin to identify those who are empowered by the Almighty Father to lead His children. Although there are those who are clueless as to how massive numbers can be in existence among set apart ones because they stuck on the word remnant. Again, a remnant can be millions when compared to billions is a remnant, is less than 1%. Unity will come, my brothers and sisters. It will come to those who have been chosen to fulfill what is written. I submit to each and every listener, the results of extreme humbling times ahead will prove to be contributors to a rising power of individuals chosen by the Almighty Father who will be gathered from the four corners of the earth. I cannot stress enough the need to communicate, to ask questions. There will be movement, and some have already begun. But I believe, and I've stated it specifically even on the Western Hemisphere, specifically to the United States, I believe that there will be a large, massive number of set-apart ones chosen by the Almighty Father Yahuah that will gather in the state of Virginia, or to those who are native to the state or native to the area of the country, the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I believe it is here where there will be probably one of the largest gathering of set-apart ones ever imagined before crossing the Atlantic Ocean. I believe we will leave in container ships retrofitted for transport. I believe that there will be massive numbers. It will be like an armada, a fleet of container ships carrying the set-apart ones to that final region, that final set-apart mountain, that region known currently as Northwest Saudi Arabia, that mountain currently known as Jabal al-Lawz, centered within the parameters of the promised land. Yasharal will gather. I believe the two witnesses of Revelation will emerge and will prove to be the final two major shepherds for Yasharal. And soon and very soon, we will witness them emerge, and we will witness the instructions, and we will witness the elders who will work to confirm who they are, confirm their message as it relates to Yasharal in preparation before the physical return of Yahushua Mashiach. Pray and seek to discern whether these words are true, O Yasharal, for there is much work to be done. I encourage each child of Abba Yahuah, each of us, to continue pursuing set apartness and know that our redemption draws near. It would be wise to seek to discern the answers that will come with clear instructions and orders by those directed by the Spirit of Yahusha. As we find ourselves in preparation mode for the Final Exodus, we will grow to know the value in this series, Final Exodus Readiness, and more. We will learn the value in the words from the Watchman directed from the Spirit of Yahuah. Prepare, O Yasharal, for the realities of what have been written and more are about to dawn right in front of each of us who find favor, who find ourselves still possessing breath, physical life. The time is now to have the fortitude, the strength, the wisdom, a ready mind and body to act when ordered by the Spirit of Yahusha. Remember, O Yasharal, there will be many destinations. There will be much movement, specifically among those who will fulfill the final Exodus, who will fulfill the words that is promised to us, where the Most High will gather his children from the four corners of the earth. And not everyone will be gathered. There will be those who will fall away. There will be those who left because of unbelief. And I believe also that there will be those ordered to be the final words in specific areas that right before they are destroyed, there will be some individuals still sharing the good news of Yahushua Mashiach, still saying how the Most High is indeed in charge. And I believe this without a doubt. Remember, the scriptures even talk about some will be killed for Yahusha's sake. So do not ignore all that is written, my brothers and sisters. Some among us who are listening to these words will find that movement will come. We will begin to identify various destinations and we will begin to confirm the final destination. Stay tuned, my brothers and sisters, and continue to be encouraged, for I am compelled to believe there is more, much more, for there is so much work ahead of us regarding the establishing of a unified body of set-apart children who will fulfill the final Exodus. There will be cost and sacrifice among an emerging and awakening nation. Our emotions will face challenges like never before. The drawn-out ones of Abba Yahuah will be gathered together. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, I say again, be encouraged. Our redemption is drawing near, nearer than most can imagine. For unity comes to an awakening, set-apart nation. Shalom, shalom, shalom.